everybody. It's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, with another gay gamer video podcast. To start with, I want to mention that I got back into a game again over the past week. I have started playing Ring Fit again. I haven't played it in a very long time, months in fact, because when the quarantine started, I thought, oh, well, this is perfect. I'm going to have to work from home now, so I can just use my commute time. I can get up at the same time I normally would, and then use that commute time to play Ring Fit, so I don't have to get up any earlier to play it, and I can just do it before I sit down to work. That'll be great. It's so convenient. It did not happen. I just didn't. I was just not motivated. The problem with the quarantine is that it killed my spirit. I was not motivated to do anything at all, and I certainly didn't play Ring Fit. But I pulled it back out, and I said, you know what? Because I am getting dangerously close to the weight that I was when I first started playing Wii Fit, way back in the day. Longtime readers of GayGamer.net will recall that I went from 185 pounds down to 145 pounds thanks to Nintendo's Wii Fit. Well, I also started running, which burned off the rest of the calories in pounds, but I would not have started doing that without Wii Fit. So, I'm just like, I'm not going out running, so it's also 100 degrees. Like, pandemic aside, it's like been 100 degrees for a week, so it's not happening. I'm not going out there. I will stay in here with the air conditioning, and I will play Ring Fit. When I first turned it on, it was very funny, because it was like, hey, you haven't played in a long, long time. Would you like me to lower the difficulty for you? And at first I was like, oh, the shade. But then I was like, yes, please, please lower the difficulty for me, because I have not played this in a while, and it's going to hurt me. Because I had been playing it for a long time before I stopped, so I was at a high level, and like, I'm in like World 17, and it's like, it hurt me the first couple of days. I will admit that I didn't play for too long, but I did play it, and I was a little sore afterwards, but after a few days, I got back into the rhythm, and it asked if I wanted to raise the difficulty, and I was like, no thank you. But I feel like I got back into it, and I'm doing better, and I'm not as sore, and I just need to get a routine going and continue to do it every day so that I can stick with it. Next, I want to talk about the Animal Crossing update. New Horizons got the second of the summer updates. This one introduces fireworks, which I haven't seen yet because they're Sunday night, so that hasn't happened yet. I don't time travel. And it also introduced the ability to archive your island so that if anything happened to your Switch, you can get your island restored. That's super awesome. And I hope I never need that feature. Because the idea of something happening to my Switch and losing my Animal Crossing town, it just horrifies me so much. But the one thing I was able to explore was they reintroduced Luna and her dream suite, where anytime you lay down on a bed, you are transported to the dream realm, where you can upload a dream of your island to the internet for people to visit, and then you can visit other people's islands. And this is not like obviously visiting friends in your friends list is one thing, but this New Horizons introduced the dodo code, where you can just put your dodo code out there, and anybody can come and visit your island as long as they have the dodo code, whether you're friends or not. And people are putting those on Twitter, and it's like, no. Because then you get randos coming in, and they start fucking things up, and cutting down trees, and taking flowers, and stealing stuff, and it's not appropriate. The Dream Suite is a way to invite people to your island, and they can't touch anything. They can't do anything. You can just go around and look at stuff. You have no tools. You can only talk to people. You can't even go in the stores. You can go in the museum, though. You can go in the museum and look around. But it's nice. I do wish that unfortunately you need to have the dream address of the place you want to visit. You can't, like in New Leaf, I remember you were able to say, just send me somewhere random. I don't have an address, just pick one. And it would literally just be like, okay, and it would pick one of the random towns from across the internet, like from all around the world, and you could go to their town, and you could visit and see what they had done to design their town, and who was in their town. And it's especially fun, I would especially like that feature now, because this game has way more customization options than any other Animal Crossing game before it. So people have built these elaborate and amazing islands. And I know there's websites out there that are collecting really good dream addresses for you to check out, but I like the randomness of just saying, pick one, your call, surprise me. So I kind of hope that they do eventually add that in a future update, because just that would be fun. I think the next update, though, is Halloween, so that'll probably come, like, in September somewhere. Then, last but certainly not least, I also wanted to talk about Ghost of Tsushima, which I am continuing to play and enjoy. I will say that as much as I enjoy the game, it's almost, sometimes it feels like a photography simulator that gets interrupted by fighting sometimes, because I am taking utterly beautiful pictures in this game. Sometimes I don't even have to tweak any settings, I just sort of frame it, and then, oh look, a beautiful sunset with a tree and the lake, and let me just take a picture, and that's gorgeous. Didn't even have to tweak anything. I just framed it. But I do find that I'm less immersed in the game than I thought I would be. And I think that's partially because of the game design. There's no HUD, there's no mini-map, there's no compass. If you want to go to a specific area, you can select it on the map, and then the wind will guide you there, and you can just follow the breeze and the wind animation, and that will get you to go in the right direction. Otherwise, if you're just like, I want to like wander around this section of the map to see if I can uncover anything, and if there's anything in here to look at, you have to keep pausing the game to look at the map so that you can see, like, oh no, turn right. You know, because there's no compass or anything to tell you that you're going in the right direction or anything. And I also keep going back into the menu because I put on the traveler's clothes when I'm trying to walk around, because it uncovers more of the map around you. It uncovers more of the fog of war, as it's called. And then, as I encounter enemies, I then pause the game to go and switch in the menu to my samurai outfit armor so that I can have some extra protection while I'm fighting. So I'm constantly pausing the game to go and jigger around in the menus, and I feel like that's taking me out of this beautiful world that I should be getting more immersed in. It's not a deal breaker. It's not bad. I just wish that I could get more immersed in the game and only pause to take pictures. I have gotten better at the combat, which is funny because ironically, like a week after I started playing the game, they're like, oh, we have a new update, and it adds some difficulty settings. It adds a new lethal difficulty setting, which certainly not. But it also added something that lowers the intensity of the combat, which gives you like a little extra time to block. It's not as picky about your timing of your button presses and such. And I'm like, oh, that could be really good. Except when I looked at it in the menu, it said that it was going to force easy difficulty on me. And I'm like, well, no. I don't want to be on easy difficulty. I wanted normal difficulty, and if you could just make the combat a little bit easier without having to go to easy difficulty, that would be fine. But it basically sounded like it was going to just put me on easy difficulty, and I was like, no. Because I have actually gotten better. I'm not really sure that I've gotten the hang of the combat as much as I've just leveled up some, and I've got better armor, and I've improved my weapons, and I have new abilities, and I can just do more. I'm still getting used to, like, the blocking is still terrible. I'm still bad at the blocking. And the dodging out of the way and then attacking, that's still bad. It's still awkward. Just like I said last time, I still can't quite pull that off. But I am getting better at the other stuff, so combat isn't as bad anymore. I don't quite understand the difficulty of the game. Like, there are times when I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go destroy this logging camp, and I go and I do it, and it's fine. And then there's, like, I've done a couple of the mythic quests, and those always end in a one-on-one duel against the boss, in which point it's just this one-on-one fight, and it is hard. And you really do have to I have trouble still getting into the samurai mindset of, I'm going to wait and respond to your attacks, and I just keep getting all aggressive, and I need to slow it down and pay more attention to what they're doing so that I can respond in kind, and then maybe not die half a dozen times while I try to complete the fight. I've not had one that I couldn't do yet, so that's good. But I don't understand the difficulty, because sometimes I can do an entire logging camp and clear it out and it's all fine, and I can maybe just assassinate a couple of people and I can do the rest of them in straight-on fights. But then, like, there was one time the other day when I ran across, like, there was a bunch of Mongols, like, on the road, and so I was like, okay, standoff, and, like, fought them, but then there were, like, more, and they, like, kicked my ass, and then I died, and I was like, wait, how am I dying from street Mongols? Like, this is insane. So I don't quite understand the difficulty. That was insane and weird. I don't know what happened there. They caught me by surprise. I don't know. I just couldn't get it, and then they just ganged up on me, and I was just like, what? So I don't really understand how the difficulty works, because you don't technically level up. It's not like Assassin's Creed where you're level 38, so you can see the enemies are going to be 36, 37, you can fight them, and if they're at 45, come back later. You know, here it's just like, okay, I'll try fighting you, and then sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But I'm still enjoying it. There's so much to explore and find, and it all looks absolutely gorgeous, so I'm going to keep on keeping on and hope that I don't have to lower the difficulty, and that I can manage to push my way through on normal. Fingers crossed. Come back next week, and I'll talk about some other stuff. Bye!